Morning, Wall Street winners. It is Friday, November 15th, and we've had some data this week, certainly some information coming out of Fed Chair Jerome Powell yesterday indicating that there may not be a need to cut interest rates again, 25 basis points come December. They're going to take a bit of a wait and see perspective or attitude. Obviously, the administration's changing with the potential for tariffs that could increase inflation. With inflation potentially rising, that could be a concern and a reason to keep rates up. So there's a little bit of hesitation there. We've also heard about CPI and PPI numbers coming in a little higher than maybe anticipated, so leading to a bit of we won't call it a spike, but a bump in inflation. Going in the wrong direction is the key there. And then you've got your three U.S. indices all in the red this morning. We had some news. We flip over to the Yahoo Finance app. We had some news out of China. JD.com, Alibaba, a couple of others reported earnings. We follow Alibaba. Revenue was a miss, but earnings were up. So that was viewed as a positive. The stock's up 1.5% in the pre-market trading. But I think the key with the earnings being up is Alibaba's been doing a ton of share buybacks, and that's going to drive your EPS up if you buy back shares. So the revenue miss is a concern, but they grew their cloud sales 7%, which is the most that they've grown that in, I believe it's 7 quarters. So there was some excitement over that for sure. And that's leading to some positive activity there. Not as high as it was when the information was originally announced. You can see that it got up into the 95s. It's down in the 92s. It's certainly off of its recent highs with the announcements around the stimulus for the Chinese consumer. So there was definitely a bit of a pop when the stimulus was released, and that bubble seems to have burst at this point. But if we take a look at what we're following today, you can see the VIX is near really all-time lows. It's down in the under 15 range and 14.63. You can see that if we look at crude's been down, but it's coming back up. They're saying that crude's going to have an off day today, but it looks like it's regaining some ground. If we go through health and retail, what you're going to notice here is ATD, which was one we were recommending a couple of weeks ago. It has jumped from the low 70s up into the low 80s. So this is an interesting little move from this company, and that's the company out of Quebec that was looking to acquire the 7-Eleven chain from its Japanese owner, and that transaction did not materialize or has not materialized yet. Healthcare is pretty flat. Nike's off $1.22, so that's interesting that it's down that much. Home Depot came off of its highs after its earnings release this week. It was up in the, call it 410s, 412s. It's down at the 406 range, which is what we said it would be at yesterday. Moving through transports down to oil. Oil is a bit of a mixed bag. It's a mix between red and green on the screen. As oil comes back, if crude does come back today and get up above 68.50, I think we could have a green day for oil today. But the greater consensus is it's going to be a red day and a down day for oil. Then we move into tech, and tech has been, it's getting hit a little harder than maybe expected, but this is just a natural pullback, and I think it's an amazing opportunity to get into some of these great stocks and great companies at a discounted price, so better value in your purchase, because these will run up. I can't guarantee anything, but based on history, the stocks in general will have a bit of a bull run the week into before the U.S. Thanksgiving. So they might sell off on Wednesday, they may not, but they'll sell off the following week if they run up. And I think now is a great time to buy these. So you've seen companies like Cloudflare or Net. It was up in the 96, I think even 97 or 98 range earlier this week. Now it's down at 91. I'm not saying that this is the stock to buy right now. What I'm saying is you need to time your entries and exits. So looking at that, they all spiked 1 or 2 days in a row, and that's when you want to sell these and then wait for them to come back down. Microsoft in the mid 420s, probably not going to give you much in terms of a pop there. So I'd be staying away from that right now. I mean, 430 has kind of been its range, and until we get some new earnings or new news, I don't expect it's going to move much from there. You do have ARM though. ARM might get a pop next week on Wednesday or Thursday after market on Wednesday when NVIDIA announces. I think NVIDIA is going to again surpass expectations, and they are in for, I think they're in for a pop next week, and that could lift some of the semis. And some of the semis have taken a bit of a hit. I mean, AMD down at 138 is potentially a pretty good deal down there. Qualcomm's off this morning. You've got Lam Research, which was up yesterday. It's down today in the mid 70s. And then if we move down, Tesla got hit yesterday, but had an amazing climb prior to that. So it's just recalibrating. I think Meta today down at 572 or 570. If it drops into the 560s, that is a huge opportunity to pick up some Meta going into the remainder of this year and even into the new year, into earnings cycle in Q1 of 2025. BABA's up, but it could pull back. I think long term, the trends are supporting more activity and more Chinese growth, but we're still in the early days there. So keep an eye out for BABA making small, incremental, progressive steps upward, or its price getting higher over in the next 12 months. So now could be an interesting buy and hold period for that. But you never know with the new administration coming in what's going to happen on the Chinese front. Google has pulled back significantly. Google in the 177 range, or even now maybe 176 if it opens down almost $1. That's an absolute steal. I bought some Google yesterday. I bought some TSM yesterday as well, and exited and then bought back in. TSM, I think, is a super solid purchase. The one that I wanted to point out, if we have in the list, and I don't think we do, so I'll just pull it up here, is ASML. ASML got hit hard today, and it is down. So it's down 1.3%. And the primary reason for that is some concern over its ability to grow within China. So that is something to keep an eye out on. That's that semiconductor company out of the Netherlands, but obviously with global presence. And then finally, we get down into financials, and SoFi up in the 1340 range is incredible. That's a stock that just continues to move higher. So on pullbacks, I would highly recommend picking up some SoFi. And then you've got the big boys, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman, for the most part having off days yesterday with the exception of JPM, looking like they could pull back again today. But I think the finance sector is really well positioned with the new administration coming in and will break new highs as we move forward. So again, on a pullback, I would buy these, and then as they pop, I would sell them and rinse and repeat that process or that strategy. So that's where we are on Friday. Good luck with your trades, and if you're liking these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and leave